guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats. Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, hey, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, Chioma Chats, hey. So today's video is titled Gucci is Racist. So if you guys have not heard, Gucci, the actual fashion company, the high-end fashion company, but Gucci has recently launched a piece of clothing that is being deemed as racist by the masses. So Gucci has launched what they call their baklava sweater, something like that. And it's basically like an elongated turtleneck sweater slash hoodie slash pullover. And it is an all black sweater with red lips kind of outlined, and it kind of goes all the way up to like the under part of your eyes, and it is obviously an emulation of blackface. People have been going crazy over this whole entire thing because Gucci obviously is worn by many affluent black individuals, and people that are not even able to afford Gucci have also been turned off and offended by this newly launched article of clothing that they have. So Gucci has since removed the product from their line. So if you go on Gucci's website, you probably will not be able to find it, but you know the internet is messy, so we have already just gathered everything that we need to gather to just have this discussion. So I broke this video down into 5 main talking points, so let's get right into this video. So the question stands: is Gucci racist? Is Gucci the brand? Are they racist? Now, this is another question where I'm going to say yes and no. I kind of want to go with no and say that they're not necessarily racist, because being racist actually means actually having hate towards another race, you know. But this was a perfect example of a company being definitely insensitive to a very serious historically negative component of black culture and history. Gucci has since apologized about everything in regards to this sweater, but I repeat, I am not here for their lack of accountability and this whole woe is me, we didn't know type of attitude. That's bull, okay? They're trying to play this whole ignorant attitude as if they just didn't know what blackface was, or they didn't know how this could be perceived by the masses. And I just think that that's so shallow of a brand to act like that towards something that is so sensitive, especially since we're in generation sensitive. I will commend them for an apology, because oftentimes we don't see many big companies really making a sincere and well thought out apology, because I read their apology. It was pretty good, okay? It was pretty good. But no. So point number 2 comes from it affecting many affluent black influencers such as rappers, actors, singers, you name it, who often sport Gucci. We have Gucci Mane, who is the actual rapper with Gucci in his name, and we have so many other people that influence the whole Gucci standard of living. So rapper T.I. Tip Harris, if you don't know who that is, he was the main head for speaking out against this whole entire phenomenon, and he basically posed the idea to boycott Gucci clothing. He issued a nationwide boycott where you don't wear Gucci for 3 months, you don't even wear the Gucci that you've already purchased, do not purchase any new Gucci items, and you just boycott the entire brand altogether for up to 3 months. So that will take us into the month of May. So I do commend T.I. for speaking out, but oftentimes I feel like he's never the right messenger for certain stuff. He's kind of like someone who just has this whole enlarged vocabulary, so he sounds smart, but I just feel like it's hypocritical for someone to speak out against this that often sports Gucci, and then you issue a boycott that's only 3 months. 3 months is not a long time, and it's kind of like, okay, so after 3 months, then what happens? I find it funny that it goes to show that most of the people that sport and promote Gucci on a high level are people that are black, are African American people, are people of color. Many people within the urban culture definitely are the ones to promote Gucci. So a couple years ago, I believe this is 2015, Future dropped his album Dirty Sprite 2, and in that album there was one song with one famous lyric that people still say to this day: I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip flops. I just had some bitches and I made them lip flop. I just took a piss and I seen codeine coming out. We got purple activists, I thought it was a drought. What? Y'all know that song, right? So it's funny how so many rappers and influencers, people within the urban black culture, will implement the whole Gucci brand into their music and push it out and promote it. And I really feel like that's funny, because you won't really see too many Caucasian or majority race individuals promoting it the same way us black people do. So this then makes the culture believe that in order to reach a certain status or have a certain level in life, or to just be seen as someone who knows fashion, that they should go out and buy Gucci, wear Gucci, promote Gucci, sport Gucci. And it's ironic how they just turn around and actually aren't even here for people that actually promote their stuff freely. So for them to make a blackface sweater, knowing that a lot of the rappers and people within the urban or black community are the ones wearing and promoting their stuff, I find that very ironic and hypocritical. My third point is pretty much my opinion. I am honestly not buying this entire boycott, and I honestly do not think it will last. This is something that will fly over a lot of black people's heads, and I feel like a lot of black people disregard things that don't directly impact them. This is not something that's going to kill anybody. This is not something that's going to hurt anybody. It's simply just a piece of clothing, and I feel like a lot of black people are probably going to be outraged for the time being and turn around and we'll see the Gucci belts back and the Gucci flip-flops back being sported all over the place. Being that we are in Black History Month, it's kind of something to notice that our ancestors paved the way for us to have inclusivity and to be included in any realm of life. And a lot of us black people in this day and age, we disregard how lucky we are to even have the privileges that we had that our ancestors didn't even have upwards to 50, 60 years ago. Had something like this been pulled 60 years ago, people of all color would be affected. Nobody would be wearing Gucci. I also wanted to point out that I feel like a lot of black people, especially the ones that are affluent and who have made it and are doing better than the majority of black people, place their worth based on the ordeals or things that are deemed acceptable by the white man. If we could refrain from thinking that we have to be validated or be in the same realm as white people, sometimes this type of mindset and things like this wouldn't be such an outrage. There's so many different songs and different lyrics or just things that people say that belittle black people and they don't even realize it. In the song Big Bank by YG, I remember him saying, "I have white folks' money." And I don't like when people say that because it makes it seem like black people aren't able to attain fortune and wealth and things like that. So it's just some food for thought. But because in today's day and age, people only are outraged selectively and temporarily, nobody's going to really care about this boycott or Gucci in like the next month. People are still going to be wearing it. And it's kind of sad how oftentimes the majority race can kind of put us down or make fun of us or do something along the lines that's going to hurt or just belittle the culture. But oftentimes we, as black people, we disregard it. We don't care. We're outraged and then we go back to doing what we want to do. My fourth point is that Gucci is not going anywhere. This little hiccup in their brand is not going to belittle them. It's not going to make them go bankrupt. They're still going to get sales. Quite frankly, I feel like their sales are going to go up because it's controversy. Floyd Mayweather was even sported the very next day after this boycott, actually wearing some of the stuff and going to buy more things. Honestly, after 3 months, what's going to happen? People are going to go right back to wearing Gucci. At the end of the day, yes, it was very wrong for what they did, but people are still wearing H&M after what they've done. People still wear a lot of these companies that are so big. It's been proven that a lot of the people that headed them, started them, founded them are very racist or don't like darker skinned people, black people, African American people wearing any of their stuff, and let alone we give them this free promo, wear it, sport it, and put down our other black counterparts for not being able to afford it, and then we're in a predicament like this. When I'm holding black people accountable, a lot of black people will go and just get the money to somehow be able to afford some of these high items, and then you put down your own who can't afford it, and then people will be going broke, itching, scratching, doing anything, doing crazy stuff just to get these high-end items. You guys have heard oftentimes so many of these young girls going and sleeping around with men to get money to go and buy designer bags, you know? Meek Mill said, never trust a bitch that's gonna fuck you for some purses, you know?
Rule number 2, never trust a bitch that'll fuck you for some purses.
And that thing does happen because a lot of times in the black culture, because we've been suppressed for so long, we look for this validation within the majority race. And this is an example of how they setting the standard for fashion, high end and affluence and money and, you know, being just opulent people. When we try to navigate towards that and get accepted by that, this is what happens because at the end of the day, they don't always really respect us. So my fifth and final point is some encouragement. I feel like as a community of black people, we need to start to use and promote our own. Black people need to respect their own companies, their own brands, and their own creators. A lot of times we're so quick to go buy Fendi, Louis, Prada, all of those things, but we're not quick to put our money within the black community. I heard a statement one time that in the Asian community, specifically China, the Chinese dollar will go to the next Chinese person, to the next Chinese person, and around and around and around. But within the black community, it takes almost over 20 times for that same dollar to come back to a black influencer, a black creative, a black chef, a black director, a black CEO, anything along those lines. And we have to do better by supporting our own community, supporting the people that have designs and fashion within the own black community. Let's not forget, a lot of these companies are getting big and getting notoriety off of designs and creations that are started within the black or urban culture. And then they put their own names on it and then we go out and buy it. But that same thing that was created within the black community, we sit up here and we down talk it, or we just consider them as these Instagram boutiques or these cheap clothings or anything like that. When we have to kill that mindset. This is exactly why I always talk about race on my channel, because us as a community, we just need to do a lot better. We need to support our own before we start spending $600, $700, $800, $900 on a purse from a white man's creation. Not saying there's anything wrong with supporting higher end designers, but let's also not forget to support our own. Of course, we're gonna have the people like I said, Floyd Mayweather and Kodak Black speaking out against it and making it seem like it's no big deal, but both of those people have proven to be coons. They are very, you know, just conditioned in their ways to be almost anti-black in a way. So we're not even going to talk on them because that's typical for them. But I honestly want to encourage us to support our black creatives when it comes to fashion in any realm, so that we can also have our own stuff for us and refrain from supporting a race of people who may not always be here for us. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Have you guys seen this outfit? Have you guys heard of this epidemic? What was your initial thoughts? How does it make you feel? What do you think we can do to just support more black businesses, especially within the fashion world? I want to know down below. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.